What is going on, people? Welcome to the Offside Chat podcast. It's your boy Naber. Full team in here today. We have got Edward, Naeem, and the return, one of the most controversial figures we've ever had on the show. Apparently used to be a Manchester United supporter up
Nasty
until Abramovich took over Chelsea, allegedly after the first title win, because he needed to make sure he's the one and only Chelsea supporter. One of the nastiest guys out there, I think, honestly, but we love him. The one and only Samson, man. Welcome back, bro. What are you saying?
Hello, guys. Thanks for having me. It's been a long while. Things have changed since I've last been on air. A lot has changed, but we'll get into that.
Listen, a lot has changed, man. But listen, let's just kick this off. Guys, don't forget to subscribe, like, you know what I mean, and share the video, man. But definitely make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Listen, we need to start in Manchester. We need to start at one of the biggest games in the Premier League calendar. It is Manchester City versus Manchester United. Could have gone either way, because sometimes, I mean, when you're looking at it recently, of course, Manchester City, they've flogged Man United on in every aspect, isn't it? Winning titles, Champions Leagues. They said you can't do the treble. They've done it. Everything that Man United have said to Man City, they've just done it. You can't win a league title. They've done it. You can't win back-to-back. They're on full. You can't do a treble in terms of Premier League titles. We've done one. You can't do a treble. It's never going to be done again. They dropped one on them. So pain for Man United. But again, yesterday, sometimes they seem to be the bogey team, though, isn't it? Sometimes, Ed, and I'll start with you. And you kind of look at this fixture thinking, we saw Ahmed last season. Is it going to be the bogey team? But it was a dominant display. What did you make of the game?
Yeah, to be fair, it was a 3-0, but it didn't feel like a flogging. It just felt like a business as usual. And if you're a United fan, that's probably even worse than, getting absolutely punched up. Because I don't feel like City had to even get out of second or third gear. It just felt very easy. Like they could, it felt like if they wanted to turn it up a notch, they could, but they just didn't even want to. And they still scored 3. And this is a City team that's had question marks about them this season, They've lost 2 games. Defensively, they're still shaky. But when it came to playing United at home, it was like, the little bros, cool, it's a little kickabout, And to be fair to United, they did have a couple chances in the game. I feel like Mbeumo, you should have at least, scored. He had a couple chances, one in the first half.
That was a good save, though. Donnarumma, you talk about the second half.
Excellent save from Donnarumma in the second half. But even in the first half, the lobbed ball over, he's taken a touch and he skied it wide.
Oh, yeah.
Was he offside, though, isn't it? I think it was offside.
No, it wasn't offside.
It wasn't offside. No, it was offside.
Yes, sorry. Apologies.
No, but still, Ed, but I hear your point because
again, Sharper and Mbeumo, last season, offside aside, he at least hit the target, right? So it wasn't like Man United didn't have a couple chances, but they was just boys against men. I know that old adage is like, listen, at every department, they're just a better side, man. They've been here before, they've won enough titles, and it just felt like a comprehensive 3-0 win, man. Foden's been maligned. He opened the scoring with a good header. Shani Rangers was all right in midfield. But it just felt like just easy, like a stroll in the park. And if I'm a United fan, I'm vexed because is that what my team's become? Where, you're just food for everybody. Just food. Just food. You know what I mean? Just food. Like, it's sad.
No, I hear what you're saying. I think you've summed it up quite well. That it just seemed quite easy game.
Yeah.
And what was really concerning for me was the fact that there was just no midfield. It just felt like Man City were just bypassing the midfield. There was no midfield battling there.
So open.
It was so comfortable for them. Do you know what I mean? Like you would think, obviously, Bernardo Silva with his legs going. Obviously, Rodri's not really got up to speed yet. But I thought you're going to get at them, obviously, in this game. But it looked like it was just bypassing their midfield. One pass over, bypassing the midfield. I've got to give Haaland his credit, man. He loves Manchester United. But, do you know what I mean? Really, really, really good finishes from him, man. Both finishes as well. you're right. It is good to say a 3-0 should be dominant at home, but it just seemed very, 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 very easy for them. Naeem, let's start with you, and we'll say the best to last with Samson now. We know the scoreline already. Amorim, what is quite concerning for me is he, one, under pressure? And two, if he is under pressure, he's moving like a guy that's already handed in his notice. Look, I don't know if we've all worked part-time jobs, but you know when you're actually at the end of your part-time job, it's kind of like they actually want you to go now because you're just taking a mickey now.
Yeah,
like 2-hour lunches. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, have you sent that email? Yeah, I'll do it. And you're just chatting to everybody. Like, it's looked like he's down tools. I know he hasn't. Of course, he's a professional manager, and I respect that. But is he under pressure? Because if he is, that seems like a manager that looks very comfortable.
Yeah. It's a funny one. I think Ed made some good points about the game. It was quite pedestrian. They bypassed the midfield quite early. It felt like if it wasn't Man United, you would have thought it was a team that had just got promoted, potentially, the way they played overall. If you know, Amorim, I mean, he looks under pressure. He's obviously lost the dressing room in plays, doesn't he? You see, look at Onana when he got a man of the match over the weekend, played for Trabzonspor, didn't he? So I think it just shows his man management's obviously clashing with a lot of people there. I think it does look like a lot of the players are down tools and not playing for him. Is he hanging on for the payoff potentially? No, he's on a big contract there, but from what it sounds like, Ineos going to give him time. I think my biggest concern with him is he's so stubborn. He doesn't change that team. If you look at that centre, was that centre midfield? Was it Ugarte and Bruno Fernandes?
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to your Manchester City, you're one of your biggest rivals, and you're playing that midfield. There's no thought process behind what he just puts. I mean, I've got without Cunha there as well. They looked even more toothless. I think Cunha's been a bright spot. He's out.
That was a big miss.
Yeah, and for me, it's very destroyed. But I do think Amorim will hang around until I can see him hanging around for at least Christmas. But then, what option is it? They also looking at who do you replace him with? I think that's probably what Ineos are looking at potentially as well. The cost of getting rid of him and getting another manager in. Can Man United officially afford all that with all the?
Well, I didn't think that Man United could afford 200 million on forwards this summer.
Well, that's all their money's gone, hasn't it? So he must be under pressure. I think he'll have. It's only 4 games in. You know, he would have said he played Arsenal. He's played City. So the 2 to 4 games. So he might get a bit of time. But I think give it up till what? After 10 games. They said the league don't lie after 10 games. We'll see how he goes from there. He's got no real excuses in terms of no European football, 1 game a week. But if I look at that team, especially that midfield, it's poor, isn't it?
You know what, Naeem? You did make an interesting point that, look, it is only 4 games, and I know it's early, and every time, every pundit, every supporter always tries to...
But it is a continuation of last year, just to interrupt you there.
No, it definitely is, but we do always try to use logic and say, look, it's only 4 games and 5 games in, and I get that. But look, you lost to Arsenal at home. I mean, it took a 97-minute goal, do you know what I mean, to win at home. Burnley, if I'm
yeah.
So let's use context. And then look, so it's not looking great for them at all. Samson, I'm going to come to you. Manchester United win percentages. Okay. So Ferguson's at the top. He's got 59.67. If you look at how many years he was there, that's actually quite phenomenal. The man who was probably one of your best managers of all time, who was criticized a lot, Mourinho, had 58.33. Ten Hag, which is surprising, had 54.69. Moyes, 52%. Van Gaal, the same. Amorim is on 36.17. So in the since World War II, he has got the lowest win rate in Manchester United's, modern day history. I wouldn't even say if he was at Chelsea, would he have been gone by now? Because that's just that's like his water wet. What is going on from a man who has seen many managers sacked for far less? What do you make of this?
Do you know what is? He's breaking records for the wrong thing. Like every week I hear the new record and it's a negative one. I think he's very defiant and stubborn in his formation. I think he's wants to play 3-5-2, but you shouldn't be playing that against the Burnley at home. You shouldn't be playing that against Fulham. okay, they're not Man United of old, but they still have the quality to go get Fulham out of there. I think he's very stubborn in his ways, keeping the guy over the likes of a Kobe Mano. Maybe he is looking for the payoff, but at the same time, I don't think he's done enough from a tactical point to give him more time. I think he's just driving them into the ground like every single week. It's something like the goal, Haaland's last goal, that was schoolboy stuff. Onside in his own half. Like where do you even see that stuff in the Premier League anymore? So for me, with Ruben Amorim, I used to rate him as a manager. I actually wanted him. When we yes. Newsflash, yeah, I actually did before because that Sporting was. Remember, he knocked you guys out. You remember that? He was doing well. He was doing well.
Jabs already, yeah? Okay, don't worry. We will be there.
No, but
We will be there. We will be there. We will be there.
Listen. I'm just speaking facts. You can say it's the Portuguese league or whatever, but his style of play at Sporting looks good. I did want him, but from what I've seen at Man United, I think I understand why he wanted to come this year. Remember, he didn't want to come when they signed him. He actually wanted to come this season.
this summer, yeah. And
So
they
I can
basically
understand.
said, now or kind of like never. I'm
You
very sure
understand?
he was probably looking back at that conversation and thinking, maybe I should have said never. And then,
No, so I don't know what it is, what happens, what's going to change, but after the win against Arsenal in the first game, this looked gloom and bloom or whatever it is. Like it's raining over there in Manchester, and it's not the good kind at all.
I think look, we're just looking at the record now. So he's had 31 games and he's won 8 games. He's drawn 7 and he's actually doubled the winning rate in defeats. He's got 16 defeats and they've got minus 13 goal difference. If this is in a sacking, I don't really know what top club is looking at this and what reasoning, apart from the fact that they don't want to pay compensate, but you might as well do it because this is honestly a true mess. And the club of Manchester United's stature as well and history. I'm not saying you should go around there, sacking managers for fun, but he's got the lowest win ratio that you've had since World War II. Look at what else. Let's use the thing that, and I called this last season. My main concern is how is he dealing with the homegrown talent? Because sometimes you have to put your hands around or your arms around the homegrown talent and believe in them. Look, Frank Lampard, when you guys, you've had a few bans, obviously. We'll talk about the one that you've had.
Okay.
If you remember, this was quite a few years ago, you were banned from signing any other players.
Yeah.
However, look, Frank Lampard just went, cool. Can't sign anyone. Youth player Tammy Abraham, obviously Mason Mount, bring him back from Dark. Do you see what I mean? Sometimes when your back's against the wall, you've got to believe in these youngsters. Arteta, look, Smith Rowe and Saka probably saved his job because a lot of Arsenal fans were turning and it was like, all right, you've got Aubameyang, but what else? And you're like, look, I'm bringing the youngsters through and you've believed in them. This guy has ruined every relationship with any youngster. Rashford's out the door. Do you know what I mean? Like, Garnacho's out the door. Kobe Mainu was kind of itching for a move to Spurs. It's a bad place when you're a Man United player and you're actually thinking, oh, can I go on loan to Spurs? You don't get as low as that. Think about like you've grown up in your Man United supporter. Edward, man-to-man management has to, I mean, why are Man United or the board not looking at this? Not only is the results bad, but the relationships now. Rashford is playing for Barcelona.
Yeah, it's not great, and that's putting it lightly. But he can only blame himself. You can't blame Rashford anymore. You can't blame Garnacho. You can't blame the goalie. You got them all out of here. All your enemies or your supposed enemies, you got rid of them. Now it's time to look at the man in the mirror, man. And like Samson said, that 3-4-3 will be the death of him. It'll be the death of him because you haven't got the players for that formation. You've got brilliant players, individual brilliance, but for me, and I guess you can all agree, it's probably suited to a 4-3-3, right? And if you get Mainu in a 4-3-3, you see the best of him. But yeah, this formation, this dogma to a formation that's killing him, yeah, it's going to end up with him getting sacked. And like you said, maybe he wants to be sacked. Maybe he wants to get the payout and, maybe go back to Portugal. Who knows? But yeah, I think they haven't won 2 games in a row. I think for his entire
Yeah, he's
10.
never done it.
He's never done it.
Yeah.
You know how bad that is to not win two games in a row. Like a run of form, you haven't even managed to do that. A run of form, and it's just breaking every inconceivable record. It's bad, man.
Is he under pressure? This is what I'm trying to say to you, lads. Is this guy under pressure? Because I'm seeing the interviews after, and he seems very cushy for a man with a win percentage of 25%.
Do you know what it is?
He's coming in and saying if that's the way it is, and I'm not going to change my way. And if people want to,
it's admirable from a foolish standpoint, but it's a situation where I think, like what Naeem said, I don't know if they're ruthless enough, Ineos. But I think you know what happens probably if United fans stop going to the games and their money's affected
It's
that
never
way.
gonna happen, though, is it?
Yeah, but
they're the biggest club in terms of supporters.
true.
You got to get people coming from every. That usually happens anyway.
Of course, but okay. Remember, the only reason Wenger and Emery got sacked is what happened. Fans stopped turning up.
Yeah.
So, and obviously, we're not as big a club as United commercially, but we're still widely supported. It doesn't matter. We're still one of the hottest tickets in town, and fans weren't coming to the stadium. And then it made the board and the higher ups think, okay, cool, our money's going to get affected here. Because at the end of the day, gate receipts is one of the foundations for a successful club. If you can't put bums in seats, what are you doing?
I will say,
I
will say, if they do get in hiding at their next game at Old Trafford, it'll get ugly at Man United. If they get hiding, not a 1-0 loss or like they played. If they get hiding, the next game at Old Trafford, it gets ugly for him, I think.
Interesting.
Who's the next game? Chelsea.
I think it is.
No.
That's what I said. Listen, Sans, please, I beg, Edjo.
Now, do you know what? Shall I be honest with you? I don't see it. I don't see it.
No, I can see it. Nah.
I don't see it. Every year we say
the thing is though, but it's going to be interesting with United Chelsea. I think it will be an interesting game. Now, listen, we were mentioning standout players. Look, we have to big up Erling Haaland. He really does turn up against Manchester United. But there is a player who has signed for Manchester United, a player that was romanced by Mikel Arteta and Edu team. He was romanced so much that he said, look, I'm not ready to come now because Havertz has just scored against Chelsea.
Red flag.
I'm a bit nervous about this. Can you guarantee me coming in? Now, look, there were pictures going across the internet of this guy leaping. When someone said, look at this leap, I thought I was watching the 1987 dunk contest with Michael Jordan. But this picture has been doing the rounds. I know you guys know about this picture because this is the one that we've seen so many times. The person to the top right was very, very turned on by this picture.
That is a sweeping statement.
But you're not denying it, though.
You're not denying it, though.
There's a bit of Bollywood sprinkle beer added to that bit. I will give myself. I will defend myself when it comes down to this.
I'm gonna speak to your mum, and he's gonna find out. Like,
my mother doesn't know about this. Then let's not tell her.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
But
let me catch you at gym on Friday. I'll talk to your mum. It's cool.
Yeah. He needs to be spoken to. But look, all jokes aside, look, the picture was doing the rounds. He's 6 foot something. He didn't want to come. Again, look.
Pause.
Yeah, pause. But he didn't feel that if the rumors are correct that, he's development and he's young and stuff. And I'm actually surprised from a striker point of view, these are supposed to be the most selfish, confident players on the pitch. They're like, look, I'll take a chance now. Like, do you know what I mean? Give me a chance and I'll score a goal. So that was a huge red flag, as you said. But they spent big money on this striker. Now, he came on against Arsenal. Didn't have enough minutes, fair play. They get a injury to Cunha against Burnley. And you're thinking, okay, he's going to step up and do this. He doesn't come on. They even bring on, what's his name again?
Xerxes, Corbin Blue.
Xerxes comes on. Yeah. Xerxes, who they've been trying to sell all summer, comes on. They have an away game at Grimsby where they start and say, come on, against Grimsby, let's get some goals here. I saw my man do a bicycle kick and missed the ball. So I thought to myself, what is going on? And we refused to take penalties because he took the 10th. So unless someone, this is what was it you? Someone said to me that Amorim had ordered him to not take Sesko
for his confidence. From what I read, that's from what I read, and I did tell you that. Yeah.
Naeem, let's start with you because this is the guy that you said suits Arsenal. Prefer him over Gyokeres. He suits what we're doing.
Yeah, I did say that. I said all of that stuff. And I'm going to stand by it because it's only 4 games in. I think I have to. Yeah, it's not been a great start, has it? You love the word God. In the word, it's context, right? As you love to say. I think. Look, let's be fair. I'm not gonna. I'll put my hands in the air. I did think he'd be a better fit for Arsenal than Gyokeres. And I know there's an agenda piece later on, and I'm sure I'll come up in that as well, realistically. But look, from what I saw of him, I thought build up play, etc., pace, etc. From what I saw and all the clips and everything, I was hoodwinked into thinking, he looks a good player.
I think a lot of us, some were obviously resistant. Myself, Ed, we just weren't having it. But somewhat, because there was a time I thought he was coming, so I was trying to make me believe what I'm. Oh yeah, maybe he can. But it was a lot of maybes. But yeah,
there was a lot of, and I thought, what, fair enough. And I thought, when they were looking at the money, it was what 50, 60 million, whatever it was. You're thinking, all right, what? Because of the way Arsenal play, Havertz 6'5" on top, Sesko, if you want to swap him out, it won't change. I thought that might make more sense for Arsenal. Obviously, it didn't happen, and Gyokeres turned up, but I'm not going to lie, he has been awful, hasn't he? I mean, there's only so much defense you could give them. I mean, the only thing I can say is he hasn't got much service. That's one thing, right? Let's be fair. Bruno Fernandes, who's their most creative player, is playing what like a playmaker playing deep, isn't he? He's playing too deep for him. So you've got, Cunha obviously injured. Mason Mount doesn't fill you with any sort of confidence since he left Chelsea. So I do think the service isn't there, but it's very clear. I think the red flag, as was mentioned earlier about Havertz, he's a big confidence player, right? And going to Man United, where confidence is really, really low, made no sense in the first place. Newcastle might have been a better fit for him in that aspect. So he's got himself to blame in that aspect. I think he wanted to move. He could have just stayed at Leipzig, and I think he's gone into an environment which, for somebody who isn't very mentally strong, it's very clear it's been very detrimental to him. You don't see Amorim hasn't really helped him in terms of any sort of comments he's made or supported him. If he's 70-odd million, start him, regardless of starting. It's not going to be any worse.
And then that's where,
I think his confidence has gone completely.
But you've got to start him. But look, we've no way played on these sort of levels. I've had some shocking games. Ed, the touch has been nasty. Yeah,
I've seen it. Yeah,
my teammates are thinking, "Yo, Nobs, you got to pull this together." Yeah. But as a striker, I'm so selfish. Just give me a chance, or let me take that penalty. Or this is what you try to do. Like, against Grimsby, fantastic. You take on a youth team. You just thought, let me bully these guys. Or, they bottom of the league. Yeah, this is when I can get my numbers up. This is how you should be thinking as a striker. Like, very cunning. But against you didn't even want to take penalties. This is shocking. If that is the case, this is shocking.
He does look like a player from. I was watching obviously against the City game, and he goes missing. That there's no confidence there anyway. Anything not going his way, he'll just go missing and become a passenger in that team. I think they've got big issues. Well, it's good to see as well. I'm not going to lie, but I think Sesko might have picked the wrong club. I'm not going to write him off as a player, but I think as a club, 100%.
I kind of feel for him, though. I kind of feel for him though, because like you said, it's a player that clearly has, in the early stages at least, some confidence issues. United at this stage is not a place that you want to put your faith in a project striker. They need ready-made talents. That's why it made sense for Cunha to go there. Someone that knows the league inside out, has come off a really, really good season, and has, at least you have the ability to do it again.
They could have got Watkins, couldn't they? Sorry to interrupt you. They could have got Watkins, for example.
Of course. But there's too many question marks on Sesko. Way more than any answers, right? All we've heard is, he's 6'5", good in the air, decent touch, quick. And yeah, these are all attributes and abilities that you want in a modern day striker, yeah. But unfortunately, he doesn't know how to knit it together yet. And he may be able to get to there. But United now, they need to get from where they are now, which is languishing and bottom half of the table, quickly up to top 4 and challenging. And with Sesko, it might take a year, it might take 2. Listen, he might he might come on next week and bag a hat-trick against Chelsea. I don't think he's going to do that, right?
I hope so for my own defense, but yeah.
But the type of money that they spent on this guy, basically you've replaced Højlund with another Højlund.
Yeah.
Højlund, same
But at
attributes.
least Højlund liked to tussle.
Of course.
Maybe a bit too much. But at
Of
least he's like he would show up for every game.
There was a bit more about him, right, physically. Yeah. But at the same time, if you look at it, same age, similar profile, height-wise, they're both quick, quite direct, have an eye for goal. It didn't work with Højlund. You're now shipping off to Napoli. He's banging goals. Like, is it just whoever's making the decisions over at United, they need to think, because it's like you could have got Watkins. He's ready-made. He'll give you 15 to 20.
That smells, man. That's Watkins smells.
No, it smells, but at the end of the day, he's scored goals in this league.
Why though, Samson?
Because I actually watched Wally Watkins like closely.
Okay.
I think like 3-4 years ago. I think he was all right, but he never kicked on. And I don't want to divert it from Sesko, but Watkins, if you're looking at Man United, that is not the level that they should be looking at all. Only he misses a ton of chances as well. He's got a good link-up play, but for me, you guys know, I'm a stat guy. I look at strikers should be scoring goals. That's what they should be doing. So when I was looking at Sesko and Gyokeres, and I saw Arsenal like mulling around on who they wanted to pick, I saw someone scored over 50 goals last season, and the other scored 13. What's the argument there? Like, go for the striker that's guaranteed you goals. And if you want to say the Portuguese league, if you translate the 50 goals that Gyokeres got to the Bundesliga, it's night and day between the two for me personally. I don't care.
Even to the Premier League, Samson.
Exactly.
I said take the tax of Portuguese football. Look, Lion's thinking he's heard this before, so he's putting his earplugs in. But look, at the end of the day, but we said it before. I agree with you, Samson, and I'm going to let you land, because if he scores 40 in the Portuguese league, I hear it. You know, Darwin Núñez and the other strikers that have come and flop. Put your tax on, my brother, and that means that if he's getting 20, take 50% off. If he's getting 20 Premier League goals, that's what a championship winning team really kind of needs from one player. If you add a player that getting you 20 to a team that is coming close to second, that's good business, really.
Exactly. You know what? Everyone's funny, and we're going to talk about the agenda on Gyokeres later. The German league doesn't produce gunmen. How many from the German league have come over to England and they've done nothing? So it's a similar tax. Bundesliga tax is the same as Portuguese league tax, in my opinion. But Timo Werner come here, stack. I know there's an army of Arsenal fans that think he's the best thing since sliced bread. You're a Chelsea fan. Were you sad to see him go? Be honest.
No, not at all.
Thank you very much.
Nkunku as well, though. Nkunku
as well, yeah.
Nkunku, he's back. He's in Milan. How many players attacking German players? Yeah,
they don't do well here.
Ed just got too upset about. There he is.
Listen, Benjamin Sesko, I just thank the Lord that we didn't sign him, because could you imagine with all the pressure that Arsenal have on them, externally, internally, and Sesko would have been leading the line.
I think it's horrible that you was even debating on which one you wanted to get, especially after he said, well, quote unquote, that
allegedly
the Havertz thing is the biggest red flag there. If you don't think you've got the minerals to come and displace Havertz out of the team, mate, it says a lot about you. It says a lot about you.
But look. This is why it gets even scarier for me. Look, you know what my campaign was. My campaign was leave. That was my campaign from this transfer thing. I was literally one of the levers in it. I was like, look, I want out of this because I don't want anything to do with this transfer. And at the time, we were there sitting down thinking, right, he's got 13 league goals. That's Havertz's best. That was a bit alarming for him, because in that league as well, because I've seen the highlights from him, I'm thinking This boy's got ability. I'm not questioning that, but it's just that it's the timing. Is he at the right age? Is he hungry enough for goals? Because I kind of feel like with Havertz, I think he's a good backup striker for us. I want somebody that every day you're going in thinking, I actually want to score goals, man. And I'll scream if it's a tap-in. Like, my job here is to score goals. I don't care how I'm going to do it. Scratch and biting. That's the sort of play that you needed. I think Havertz plays very well in the system and stuff. If I ask Havertz, what's your number one thing you want to do on the pitch? He'll be like, position-wise, isn't it? Or, that's why for a coach of Mikel, these are the plays you like. Yeah, I run, how many kilometers and stuff like that. I want someone to be selfish. And Arsenal have been blessed with prolific goal scorers. Ian Wright, Thierry Henry, Van Persie, Aubameyang, even when we were at our lowest, he would still come on.
For a little while. You know what I mean? That's the real gunman.
And what's really scary, and has made me actually think, all right, we've dodged a bullet, that I could look back at this show in a couple of months and have to eat humble pie, which I don't think I will. But Ekitike, man. Ekitike wasn't even the guy that everybody was looking at. It was Sesko. And I'm thinking, so hold on a second. You've looked there. I'm not saying
yeah.
I'm saying Ekitike was that guy that, if we can't get Gyokeres, if we can't get Sesko, Ekitike, I don't know. Oh my gosh. Listen, this boy's gone to the champions. And he's like, yeah. I'm happy to be here. I'm taking my chance. That's
he came from the Bundesliga as well, to be fair.
That's what I'm saying, Frankfurt.
Yeah.
But PSG from PSG before, isn't it?
Yeah.
I rated Ekitike over Sesko.
You did.
I wasn't having Sesko at all. And I think, to be fair, it was because Arteta wanted him. And I'm like, anything he wants, I
was waiting for that comment.
I'm against, bro. Because you know what it is? That, for me, I think Arteta's got such a cult following, that anything he says, fans immediately rubber stamp it. So I'm like, what am I seeing? Do I need to put my glasses on? I'll put them on now. What am I seeing that makes people think that he's going to be the second coming of R9? I didn't see it. I think he's got attributes that, make sense. But you already got Havertz. What do you need another similar profile? Maybe
that was the point. That was the point. Sorry, that was the point for me. The similar profile, like when people were saying, not Naeem, but there was other people saying that, he doesn't suit up. Like you have different. Look at Man United when they won the treble. They had Andy Cole, they had Dwight York who could come deep. They had Sheringham and then Solskjaer. You have a substitute because you don't just sub the same guy on that just does the same exact thing. You sub someone on that's got something different. It's going to be a different game. You've got you're playing centre backs that don't like the ball over the top. You need a runner that can run in there, or you need somebody to hold it. So when people are saying that, I thought, yeah, you need to have a different sort of striker. But anyway, let's move on though. Because we've got Samson today. 2 Brentford versus Chelsea. Interesting game, to be fair. Samson, I think let's talk to you first, because as you can tell, the rest of the panel here very sad as like you are that you dropped 2 points. Of course, we're devastated for you, man, and feel it. But what happened, bro? Because going 1-0 down, getting 2-1 up. When Caicedo scored, I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't taste the rest of my food because I was ready to celebrate. I went in the kitchen to go and get a nice goo dessert. I thought, I'm supposed to be gymming now, but look, let me just eat a little sweet. I come back and I just see that it's 2-2. Samson, what's happening?
Personally, this all stems from the summer. Not addressing the biggest issue at the club is the goalkeeper.
Okay.
Not addressing the fact that Colwell gets an ACL, you don't replace him.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, the manager got it wrong. Well, I know everyone's rotating for the upcoming European fixtures, and you need to rest a couple players. Palmer was rested. Had a few players rested as well. But what the hell is a Buonanotte doing at a Chelsea football club?
Who's who?
Buonanotte, see? You probably don't even know who that is.
Don't do that, because he was all right. He was all right.
He's there for accounting purposes, I believe.
He was all right. He was all right. He had a couple of moves.
Yeah, all right is not Chelsea standard. But ultimately, there's a lot of players that aren't of the club standard. Trevor Chalobah, awful centre back. Tosin, we got him for free. He's all right. He's a steady Eddie, but that's not what we need. A steady Eddie.
You're a
is
racist.
it? No, you know me. I'm calling it as I see it. To be fair, and we're playing.
You said, listen, let me challenge you on this though. You did say that, look, Colwell, who some Chelsea supporters, I think you were part of this camp, was saying things a couple of years ago that, you know, Colwell can, you know, he could speak to Saliba and they can chat. You know what I mean? Now, Samson, look, you're looking up thinking, would I have said something like that? And the answer is yes, you did.
Okay.
You're on radio.
Well, I mean, he's injured though, isn't it? You know, like, look, we're all in this sport to win stuff, right? And some people have won stuff.
You can give him your ACL. You can give him your knee. You can give him your knee, and he won't be as good as Saliba. No,
Saliba's a top centre back. Maybe I jumped the gun there.
However, but what I'm saying, you've lost him, and that's a fair point. But look, you have gone on to Ajax and got Jurel Hato, very highly rated. He can play left centre back. He can play left back as well. He looked a bit scary on Friday.
But that's what I mean.
But half time, and it looked bad, man.
He's playing inverted as like inverted midfielder. I've not seen him do that at Ajax. But all of a sudden, we put him as inverted midfielder, just like, you know, Cucurella was. But ultimately, we played the B team or whatever you want to call it for the first half. We brought on the big guns. Second half, we changed the game around, and personally, this is why I said the centre back thing and the goalkeeper thing. A Van Dijk long throw that doesn't happen. A Saliba it just doesn't happen. Do you know what I mean? The goalkeeper, the Donnarumma, even the David Raya, they come out and claim that ball. You know what I mean? Every long throw that they had, even though it was offside, it was offside. But I can't complain about that because 4 defenders should be able to get their head on that ball, and none of them did. So I can't really be okay. I know it is offside, and PJ Morel have had the stinker this whole year, but I can't now say that's the reason. Well, for God knows how long. But 4 defenders can't get their head on one ball. Absolutely stinks.
That's how I felt about the Bournemouth game against Liverpool, when the both defenders just decided to honestly, for that Chiesa goal, I'm still livid about that. I just think, what is actually?
But ultimately, that's 2 points dropped because of
I was just about to say it.
Lack of strength, lack of quality in the defense.
It's early, but still,
it's the confidence in the keeper, right? It's the confidence in the keeper. You're defending a confidence keeper. That's where it's all over the place.
Yeah.
And I was surprised they didn't go for Donnarumma when he was available.
I think maybe the age. I think maybe the salary. But Chelsea.
How old is he? What is he, like 20,
26.
Okay, so he's in the okay.
You guys are trying to sign 25 and under. So anything over 25.
When has that ever worked though? Like, it drives me crazy. And they rewarded them with a 6-year contract.
But Samson, you came on talking about world champions. You came on talking about trophies. So it must be working, my brother.
No, blessing. That was a blessing and a curse.
Also, the mask has fallen off, so it's not working then.
So, look. Every competition we're in, we want to win it, or we have won it, I should say. You know what I mean?
It's working.
Not everyone can say that. Do you know what I mean?
But it's working then.
No, we haven't won the league since 2017. Something's up there.
So there's certain because you sounded very Spursy here when you're like, we'll take any cup, but that's not really the Chelsea that I know. Chelsea I know is they're not coming in and buying a nice Merc A-class with hubcaps. That's not Chelsea I know. They're thinking, is this cloth? The same, you know what I mean? Like, what sort of trophy is this? You know what I mean? Like,
I couldn't tell you, honestly, what's going on upstairs. Because they're handicapping the manager at the same time. None of your clubs will be signing a Buonanotte. Do you know what I mean? Or Jamie Gittins, or as much as.
To be fair, Arteta might try that rubbish. I can't lie. He might
next season.
Maybe in a few years.
Not
in a few years. But I just think they just keep shortening the quality of the players that we're signing. Like every year it gets worse and worse and worse. Like okay, Yao Pedro, that's our biggest signing. Yeah, he's kicked on, but I'm hand on heart. I didn't want him.
But he's got what 3-3 games.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's over exceeding my expectation. But can he carry on that for the whole year? History shows us he can't.
True.
Talk to me about Madueke, man. Thank you for him, by the way. I thought 50 million was quite expensive. However, it looks like I like this. And I might set myself up, but I kind of like what I've seen here. He looks like he's got a new lease of life here, man. What can I expect? Because you've watched him, Samson. So look, he might just be, this might be honeymoon period for us, but I like what I've seen so far as a backup. And that's what he is. But what's your take on it?
Not just like Havertz not losing any sleep over Madueke at all in the slightest.
Okay.
I've seen this newfound obsession with Madueke from Arsenal fans, which this is just the same thing we saw with Kai Havertz. I would ask you guys, this new lease of life, right, that you've seen, has it provided any goals or assists? Oh, it hasn't. So what have you seen? So what have you actually seen?
Well, we'll move on to the game. Let's go. No, we'll move on to it. Yeah, listen, because it's interesting. Right, Zubimendi, Gyokeres, Sink, Ange's Forest. It was a tricky game. Forest had a great season last season, but to be fair, the fixture last season was 3-0 as well, wasn't it? Which was quite surprising because we wasn't really playing well at that time. We played them at a similar time, and it was quite, I thought it was quite flattering to do it. So I was thinking, what sort of game we're going to have again? But look, Arsenal look quite dominant in the game. Let's talk about it. Ed, what did you make of the game?
I think the scoreline, to an extent, flattened us a bit. In the first half, it was pretty laboured. Apart from Madueke, he did look bright. He attacked the fullback. He absolutely killed the fullback. But the end product, my brother, Noni, we're going to need more.
What was
the end product?
Okay.
I like the fact that he had the fullback on toast, but a little bit more upstairs, in the decision making, maybe a few more cutbacks or more decisiveness in the actual end product, then we're really talking. But apart from that, really good performance from him, very, very bright. I was a bit annoyed that we kept on favouring the right-hand side. Eze's there, man.
Yeah.
Our new shiny toy, Eze. Like you said, when we spoke on the phone, Nobs, it does Martinelli. How many times is that ball going to down his side, and he's going to do nothing?
I was frustrated with that as well because we both spoke about it. Yeah, give him the ball more.
A couple of my pals that went to the game, they were saying the same thing. Like, do not know that Eze is on the pitch. Like he had little to no touches in the first half. Second half, obviously, he got the lovely assist for our guy, Gyokeres, 3 goals in 4. You know what I mean? Not going to talk too much on my boy, but certain man out here with 0 goals, and the Muchman line striker's got 3 and 4. You know what I mean? So doesn't have to play good. All he's got to do in my book is score. So
okay, fair enough.
That's what I want. I don't care about the performances because we've had Gabriel Jesus, Jinky Majinky, and performances. Does he score? Nah. So I need someone to just put the ball in the back of the net. What a strike from Mendy, What a strike from Zubimendi.
Yeah, good. And that's top strike. And Naeem, obviously, I know you did. Naeem was that sort of Zubimendi sort of player, but less running and always going down if you touch him. This is the sort of
very Spanish.
It was
very. He just didn't want. Don't want to be touched like this. Yeah. And he had a dodgy knee back then. Do you know what I mean? So God knows how it is now. But and he was 22. I think you were retired at 23, because of that.
I peaked at 23. July. Yeah, I remember.
Naeem, what a volley! To be 2 very good goals, man. What did you make of his performance?
I've been impressed with him so far. Arteta's son, he stole him from Liverpool, didn't he? I've been impressed with him so far. I think considering coming to, from what I saw him playing for Spain, he looked a player, right? And I think everyone who's been linked to him.
Liverpool were linked hard, man. They got
supposedly
Let's not
Madrid.
They got ditched at the altar. Do you know what I mean? They were there. It was just like the end of Spider-Man 2. You know what I mean? Mary Jane. You know what I mean? She's running out towards Peter Parker. That's what happened. Let's call a spade a spade. Am I lying? Like, it was done, wasn't it? Zubimendi, it was done.
From what it sounded like, yes. And then he got a phone call, wasn't it? And one thing led to another. And yeah, he rocked up at the Emirates. I think he's impressed me so far. He's impressed me so far. I think 4 games in, he's, new league. I think it helps having Mourinho there, isn't it? I think, especially in that game, I think they've played obviously together a lot. I've been impressed by him. I do like he's got a very, he keeps the game very, very simple, but he's looking to play the ball forward a lot.
Yeah, that's what I like about him.
Which like, one touch and moves it forward. There's a lot of players sometimes who play for Arsenal take too many touches of the ball.
Who would you say? Who would you say though?
Good question, Samson, and a fair question. Naeem, you're on now, so yeah, I don't.
People like Martinelli, for example. So if he was in Eze's position with Gyokeres, he would have taken 15 touches and gone back to the left back.
You want to know why? With all due respect,
go on, tell me.
He can't do that first time pass.
No,
cross goal. No way, he ain't got that in his locker.
No shade. That was Eze's weak foot, though. That's the thing. That's
a top player, though, isn't he?
He's a top player.
Technical ability, though, isn't it? It didn't surprise you, though, isn't it? When he just did
He's a top player,
yeah. I think Zubimendi looks a player, though, so far. I think, 4 games in, plays the ball forward a lot. Great header, considering how he's what, my height? So
he's like 5'11", maybe like pushing 6 foot.
Yeah, that's it, my height, isn't it? My height.
Hey, that's nasty work. Man has said he's high, and now you're questioning.
Yeah, I know. Why made that face?
You actually 5'11".
Yeah, same as you, innit?
I'm 5'11" in forces. I'm gonna lie.
Barefoot. But no, I've been impressed with him so far. I think.
This is live, like broadcasting the thing, man. All things to question, not the stats, not the. Hold on, Naeem.
Hey, my bad, my bad.
Live's on his, do you know what I mean? His profile, but now everyone's been watching this. Like, he's obviously told certain people, "Yeah, watch me on the podcast today." And they think, "Hold on, he's on the profile. He put 5'11". Like, now. Said you're a bad guy, bad boy.
Blessings. I mean, yeah,
master work from Ed, man. Sorry,
Zubimendi. I think good signing. I think he's
50 million, bro.
50 million. Be a good signing.
No, I think it was 60. Because remember we paid a bit more to not have to.
Maybe 55. So
60 million euros. But wherever I think he's been so far. He's impressed me. I think I haven't watched loads of him, but he's come in and looked the part. To be fair,
one thing I'll say, he hasn't looked out of place.
No,
here we go. Yeah,
he's been okay. He hasn't lifted up trees. He hasn't pulled up trees, but he hasn't looked like we've got a dud. He's been all right. You know what I mean?
Oh, he's also scored goals, which has been.
He scored 2 all season last season.
Exactly.
So the fact that he scored
in one game.
I'm with you, Ed, on this one. I'm not saying he's pulling up trees. I think it's going to take time, especially as that kind of 6, especially in the Prem when you're getting pressed, because he must be thinking, hold on a second, this is happening again and again, and that's why I like. Do you know what I mean? Physicality in there with him. That's why I like to see Rice in there with him, because at the end, I know Odegaard came off, but he's going to be pressing like mad. Rice has got the physicality, because I think he needs to kind of be protected a little bit. But listen, that volley, do you know what I mean? You do something like that, I'm happy with. A few niggas. Before I go on to Madueke, I have to say Timber, he's my favourite. I've called him as the best right back in the league last season. I stand by that. I think he is. Yeah, he's just a superior player who can also play on the left as well. There's not many people that can be comfortable in both positions as well.
This last to you.
No. The facts are there.
Into your squad. That's not
easy.
I play where? I'm playing where?
What in front? Who are you? You playing a 4?
Who would he play over? He's a left back or right back? I personally believe we've got the best fullbacks in the league.
Who? What? Cucurella and Reece?
Yes, absolutely.
Reece can't play 2 games a week. He's finished.
What you know that old age rumor? It's not actually true. When's the last time he ain't played?
Oh.
Reece
He
don't
doesn't
start.
play full game though, does he, Samson? He, when was the last
Pardon?
time
He didn't,
90.
he didn't
Pardon?
start on again. Oh yeah, no, you said they played the sort of B team.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
look, you're
Or
gonna
they're
see against you'll see against
minutes.
Bayern. That's like
he
we
doesn't
don't
half
turn up against the likes of Hudson Odoi and start calling ourselves the best fullback in the league. You know what I mean? We do it
Wow.
against the big
At least
boys,
he's gonna
the
show him.
Kvaratskhelia. I saw Timber against Kvaratskhelia.
He did well.
I saw Reese against Kvaratskhelia. You know what I mean?
Oh my word. Are you talking about that World
You
Club?
know what I
When
mean?
them man were tired.
Yeah.
They're tired now.
Yeah.
Samson, listen, but remember, brother, I've got to hold you to account because you came on here saying that is it working though? But now you're telling me, is it? So what is it? Is it working or it's
No,
not
no, no.
working? Because you're in, out, shake it all about.
No,
here.
no, no. Look, okay. Let me clarify for you guys, since there's been some miscommunication. Yeah. Look, we won the Club World Cup because that's what we do, right? We go and we win stuff. However,
Fair enough.
the upstairs, they don't know what they're doing. Not the footballing side of it. Upstairs don't know what they're
Okay.
doing. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Oh, I hear that. But listen, look,
Reece don't play 2 games a week, though, does he? Reece's fitness is a little.
You guys will watch the Club World Cup the same way I did. You know, but obviously your clubs weren't involved,
to
right?
be honest, I really wasn't watching it. I'm not
I
gonna
was
Obviously you
I
wouldn't.
was
You didn't
criticising.
have you didn't have a horse in
I
it.
wasn't. I don't
You didn't
really
have a horse in the race, to be fair.
like watch preseason games and teams that aren't even been in the Champions League for the last 3-4 years and
You
now
talking
getting
about,
like
you can't be talking
like
about Champions
scholarship.
League.
Like
You can't be talking about Champions League now, can you?
no, I respect you for that. What I'm saying is that you haven't been in the Champions League for the last 3 seasons, and you got
Yes.
some scholarship that Will got from Philadelphia when he went to Belair. Like, no, let's just get some from the slum. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing?
It's called heritage, brother. Heritage.
Oh, okay. So you got a heritage buy-in there and stuff. Like that. Listen, I'm all good for these sort of scholarships and stuff, man. Do you know what I mean? But look, I have to say Chelsea win titles. Look, we can't question that here.
Yeah, you mash works.
But this Timber thing is, I don't know. It's
I
really
actually liked
upsetting
Timber a lot.
here.
Genuinely liked him, but I think Timber's a top player, you know. Do you know what I mean?
But he was smelly in that first half. And a play that we're talking about, look, there's a few to mention. He was smelly. And in the second half, Raya just tipped it onto the crossbar. It came down and he gave a wayward pass. And the one that cleaned up seems to be somebody that has been signed for maybe 15 million pounds.
13 million pounds.
13. He's on 65k a week. Euro was signed for nearly 50 or 60. We've got Jero Hato. We've got Colwell. Listen, and this Mascara has come in. His debut is against Liverpool. And again, now I've never ever said, did we miss Saliba today? Because he's one of the best centre backs in world football at the moment. But it's a bit scary when you're not actually panicking about 2 of the best centre backs, you know what I mean, arguably in Europe. And you're not panicking. This guy's coming away at Anfield. You don't get in a harder game than that. It's a very difficult game. He looked very comfortable. Again, he looked very comfortable. Coming back to Madueke, though, I'm actually, look, at Anfield, me and Ed have discussed this. I actually thought it's a tough place to go. He played on the right. I think the end product, I'll give you that. I understand that maybe he has to improve on the end product. But from game to game, I'm seeing him improving. It's exciting to see somebody that can actually have confidence to take on their man, go on the inside, go on the outside. He does need end product. I think that will come. I think it's slightly harsh, Ed, because I think when he did the cutback, that was a great block by Murillo. Because Timber, that was a tap in there, to be fair, and that was an assist. But have we missed Saka?
Think so, yeah.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
We've missed him because if Saka plays against
Liverpool,
not Liverpool, he moves to Gyokeres. Inside and out. He will score.
Are we sure about that? Are we really? No. Do you know one thing that Madueke? Because last year he did the same thing to Gyokeres, but obviously he was whipping. Yeah, no, he was whipping Gyokeres a new one last year. But Madueke, I'm not gonna doubt it. In terms of as an exciting winger, get you up, like wants to go at his defender. He does do that.
1v1,
he does
loves
it. He wants to go 1v1 with his defender. Yeah. Whereas I think Saka is more like tactical. He's not every single time wants to attack the defender.
But he's got more layers to his game because he can go on inside.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't disagree with that.
And what I was going to say is, you see how Madueke had the beating of Gyokeres at some points. He didn't really make Gyokeres pay. Saka would have made Gyokeres pay.
That's what I would say.
And that's what I was getting at. Whereas Madueke, we said, okay, cool. We made Gyokeres have to think against Liverpool at Anfield, but the end product wasn't there. And again, against is it what's the guy's name? Is it Mato or the fullback that plays for Forest?
Murillo.
No. Murillo was a centre back.
Was it not? What's his name?
What's his name?
Was he not ex-Liverpool?
No, not Nico Williams. No,
it wasn't Nico Williams.
He was a guy that never played there. He's a centre back by trade. He was on the flag.
Barato.
Yes, Barato. He had him on toast, but it didn't really make him pay. And that's where I'm going to need to see a lot more from Madueke, because at least with Saka, he makes his forward pay more time than not. So whilst it hasn't been a complete drop-off in quality, we haven't seen a goal or assist from Madueke. And obviously, in due time, it will land. We know that. But in terms of Saka, we know that, listen, most fullbacks in the league very rarely lock him up. You can't keep Saka quiet for too long.
And you know what's scary as well? Moving on to the left side, Eze made his home debut, our new number 10. And again, what I'm excited about with him is that me and Ed discussed that that game especially, they weren't giving him the ball or not. But when he did get the ball, there's magical moments. And Gyokeres, again, look, I've heard all of the nasty, agendas, which we'll talk about in a minute. But this is the thing of the quality play that Eze is. Because the ball over the top, Calafiori again, I mean, has he been the player of in the first 4 games, he's been one of our best players, definitely. That was a fantastic ball over the top. Eze, you'd think, he's a skillful player, he's going to try to take it on. He took one touch, and with his weaker foot, sprayed it again. And Gyokeres, this is the thing. If you give him chances or you put chances down, he will finish this. See, people are now telling me it's a tap-in. I'm like, Jesus.
Who cares, bro, though?
Honestly, no. It is a tap-in, but who cares?
No,
you've got to be there to score it.
But you've got to do that, right?
Yeah? I mean,
you can only finish the chances where you are on the pitch. What, did somebody wanted to volley that or a bicycle kick? Like, what am I hearing here?
We've seen strikers in that position not even hit the target.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They missed that. They sky over the bar. So
Haaland doesn't score screamers every week, by the way. Like,
very rarely. When's the last time Haaland scored a bad boy goal? He just scores goals. He's a machine.
Yeah. And this is what is leading me on to our next topic, because it's getting nasty out there now. Because in the summer, Gyokeres was linked with Arsenal. Berta came in. Gyokeres is linked with Arsenal. Everyone's thinking, I don't know. I want Sesko. My United fans laughing, trolling, saying that, look, he's going to go and play for Amorim. He doesn't care about Champions League football. Chelsea linked with Gyokeres. Then Liverpool were linked a little bit. Juventus linked. And the man just said, look, Victor just made a simple, choice and said, look, I'm not speaking to anybody. Chelsea, I'm not really taking your calls. Do you know what I mean? Juventus, thank you, no, thank you. Amorim, but Samson, if I'm like, look, if you know something that I don't know, look, it happens to the best of us sometimes. Look, what we saying, you're still in the list on Instagram, like follow, but they're not following you back.
Message request, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. They were looking at your stories, but they weren't really accepting. Do you know what I mean? Look, nothing wrong with that, man. It happens to the best of us when you go for the hottest property in football that summer. But look, Man United, he said, all due respect, I want to go to Arsenal. He's gone to Arsenal. And then that's when it seems like it's changed, Ed. As soon as the man is signed, now I'm hearing Portugal. Now I'm hearing he keeps scoring the same goals. Now I'm hearing he seems a bit sluggish. Oh, he keeps wiping his hair. I don't like his eye color. Oh, he's not wearing that kit the way I like that kit to be worn. Oh, I don't like his boots. You know what I mean? Like, oh, as he's had his teeth whitened. He doesn't look like. It's getting silly, and it's getting that silly that it's even spilling over to the overlap.
Oh, yeah.
And it's getting pathetic now, because it's like you're just trying to get clicks in now. Like, this is silly. He doesn't look comfortable. He doesn't look graceful. I thought they've said for the last 3 years that Arsenal need a goal scorer. That's what you need. Everybody can see you need a goal scorer. So you've got one. Now you're questioning the way that he looks, the way that he runs. He looks a bit sluggish. What is going on here, Ed?
Do you know, sadly though, you know where most of this has been driven from? Our own people, bro. It's our own fans.
So.
Yeah, I've seen way more corn for Gyokeres from Arsenal fans than any other club.
You think? I've only seen one fan who we both know of.
There's a lot of man.
Even Naeem doesn't even do this, though. To be fair,
a lot of man are questioning the signing. They were in the Sesko camp, and because Sesko wasn't bought, they're not trying to give Gyokeres the time of day. And it's like, listen, at the end of the day, he's our player. Support him. I know it's rich coming from me because I've been very, very, very harsh.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. You're saying that.
Yeah. But this ain't about me. This ain't about me. This is about Gyokeres and supporting our guy in it. This ain't about me, yeah? I'm only one guy. But all jokes aside, people wanted a different player, and they didn't get what they wanted, so they're throwing their toys at the pram. But for me, Gyokeres is good. All he has to do is score. Score. I don't want the flashy. Listen, this mythical player that we all want as Arsenal players, there's not many about. We didn't get the guy to do that. We've got a pure goal scorer. Our last goal scorer, pure goal scorer, was Aubameyang. And what did he do? He didn't lead us to top 4, but at least won the FA Cup.
Who did he beat in the final again? Because it was some. You know what I mean? Man, the lockdown.
Nasty.
The lockdown. The receipts gone through the roof that year as well. Like, we've never ordered more takeaway than that. We were starved of football, no crowds, and it was like, yes, the FA Cup final. We do this, man. This is what we do. We win trophies.
You do do the FA Cup. You do.
Against you.
Listen, three times he crashed it on the unit. But anyway, that's neither here or there.
Yeah, come on, we're not doing this. Yeah.
We've got Gyokeres. He's proven. He's a proven goal scorer. Yeah, they'll say the Portuguese league, but who cares? At the end of the day, you know how hard it is to score 97 and 102 in any league.
Yeah, that's
in any league,
true.
let alone a professional one. Like, please, like just respect, man. Respect.
Yeah, no, I agree.
We don't care that he's not the best footballer. I don't care that he's not a technician. I don't care that his first touch is suspect. All I care about is, come the end of the season, are there going to be goals? And I'll be the goals. Yeah. Let's have it right. Other fans, they're gassing Havertz. They're gassing all these other guys that do everything but score. Yep. And then you wonder why we ain't winning trophies. If Gyokeres can lead us to trophies while scoring, all is well. All is well. But what I'm not going to have is certain fans that have been happy with pouchy goal contributions suddenly putting way more on a player when your guys are scoring 10, 8, and you're happy with that. You're happy with 8 goals and finishing second, but now you want this new guy to score 50. How dare you? Talking about.
No, Ed, I agree on that. I think it's nasty work going on. And look, there's an old saying that you should, you know what I mean, you shouldn't really throw stones if you live in a glass house. And I think it is actually an obsession. I think he gets clicks with the Gyokeres stuff. You know, he's wearing Timbs. He keeps flicking his hair. You know, as I said, it's getting silly now because this is a guy who, if he would have ended up at anyone's club, I don't think anybody would have generally been disappointed. It might not be the striker you wanted, but you think this guy has scored lots of goals. The question marks, can he do it in the Prem? These are all fair questions, but things about how sluggish he's looking and look, pathetic. And at the end of the day, like I said, you've got to be careful to throw stones in glass houses because look, you've got a 70 to nearly 80 million pound Bundesliga striker who scored 13, who now is scared to take penalties against Grimsby and has gone missing in 4 games now. I think it's 250 minutes. He's gone missing only 3 shots on target. He hasn't scored. You have somebody that come from the same league, the Bundesliga. I thought this was going to be the new Lothar Matthäus, the Ronaldinho. Now, I know it's very early days, but this is a 113 million pound player. 4 games, no goals, no assists. Yes. Now, look, I'm not going to be on no agendas, but Mr. Carragher, you have to be very careful because Gyokeres didn't cost 113 M. This guy was coming in to be, this guy, trust me, the new Havertz. I mean, not No, definitely not the new Havertz. But actually, to be fair, at that time he was highly rated, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, yeah, like Wirtz it's 130 million, and I know they tried to come from my boy Ed and said it was nasty work, but I think it's a fair question. It is 4 games. It was 3 games in Ed.
Do I smell an agenda?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Let's load it. Let's load the agenda, please.
That's where my issue is.
Let's load it.
We could talk about Gyokeres all we want, yeah. However, Florian Wirtz is getting away with murder. Absolutely. Yeah, Brock Lesnar. Yes. However, no, but honestly, I'm not even an Arsenal fan, but I'm a football fan. But the way they I saw a stat today, or was it yesterday? They made a new one. Forward runs is what Wirtz is leading the league in.
The most runs, yeah. So yeah, he's first.
When did that start becoming a stat? Like, he was bought for 113 million. Look, Caicedo as well, Enzo as well. Their first game, every eyes was on them. Any mistouch, it was, and rightly so. If you're 100 million above, Declan Rice too. If you're 100 million and above, and they're not even forward-thinking players, Rice, Caicedo, okay, you can say Enzo, but they're not in the front three, front four. Wirtz is the front three, centre attacking mid, went to the Champions, can't get a goal or assist, and he's getting away with murder.
Yeah, but you see Liverpool fans, not all of them, but they're a funny bunch. When it's their own now, suddenly it's cool for calm.
Give him time.
Very hypocritical, because like I said in my previous chat about Wirtz, obviously we know he's talented, that's notwithstanding. We know he's talented, but so far it's been poor. And I said
very poor.
Away to Burnley as well. Away to Burnley yesterday was a great opportunity. I'm thinking, come on, against Burnley, you got to do your thing now.
Listen, he has stank. And what I've noticed is when it's your own, suddenly you defend. And I get it. We defend Rice. You guys defend Caicedo and Enzo. I understand it. But suddenly now, your guy, if he's stinking, he's stinking. That's what it is. He was the British transfer record until they broke it with Isak.
Again, by the way, they broke it twice
in the same window.
Samson's been waiting for this because obviously with Enzo and Caicedo.
There's a lot of noise. That was different windows. They done it twice in one window.
In one window. But you see, Liverpool, they're protected. We know this. They've got all the media members. You can't say nothing about their players. They get to do all sorts, So we know this. They are the champions, so we do have to respect them. I'm not here to bash them. We do respect them as champions. However, my bad. However, let's listen, guys. Let's remain calm. Let's remain calm. Let's have some parliamentary procedure.
I
said my bad, did it?
He's been saying that a lot, though, Naeem. How many times?
There's a lot of hand in the air. Yeah, I know.
We need to have a word.
He's had in the air more times than Walcott. Remember Walcott offside.
Yeah. No, but to touch on what you're saying, Ed, when it comes to Liverpool, all of a sudden I've started to see net spend.
Yeah.
That wasn't a thing. You know the last time Sky Sports produced that 5 years ago? All of a sudden they brought it back when Liverpool won. It's crazy, man.
You know what? It's true. So much context behind what they've done. The shirt sales, the deals. I'm thinking, listen,
Coutinho money.
You know what
they're on, man. They're the only team that gets to do what they want, and it's cool. Everyone else, constant criticism. When it's Chelsea, it's nonsense. When it's Arsenal, it's nonsense. United, they've been the talk of the town for how long? Everyone's trying to see what happens with City in the charges. We know this. But Liverpool, you can do what you want. Now, with the Burnley game, they won. It was a jammy,
nasty win. Nasty win.
But at the end of the day, winners win, losers explain. However, it was a nasty watch. And if I'm a Liverpool fan, obviously you're happy. 12 points.
They're happy. They're happy.
12.
Are you happy?
You know why they're happy? Because listen, you've been in them. Look, they're playing bad and they're still winning. I mean, I would be
any worse.
100%. I wish
exactly.
We got 12 out of 12. You know what I mean?
So, they're playing. They're not playing great, and do you know what I mean? They're still winning games. But yeah, listen, I am not gonna look Samson. I'm gonna go to Naeem, the more balanced view of obviously the rest of the cast there. Obviously, Samson and Ed, they go for the jugular. With me, I'm just saying, just don't throw stones if you live in a glass house. I would never come for Wirtz if you weren't coming for Gyokeres. That's what my point is. The guy's come in as a striker, 4 games, 3 goals. That's it. Like, just concentrate on what you've got there. You've got Benjamin. Listen, people saying Benjamin Sesko. Memes are coming out now. Listen, that's a lot of money you spent. Manchester United, you've spent over 140 million on 2 strikers. Yeah, one has been what's his name again? He's gone to
Highland. He's gone to Napoli.
Highland,
was 70 M's, and you've done it again now. So Hoyland and Sesko, and you're talking about Gyokeres. Do you know what I mean? Works as well. Listen, it's early days. He could come up and just have an unbelievable season. He could do. But still, like, if you're asking for patience, he's 22, he's 22, he's got time, he gets time, then give Gyokeres that time. Naeem, I won't say that you were on the Gyokeres agenda, but you've taken a fancy to, obviously it's that picture in there when he's leaping in the air with his celebration. I think that's the one that sold it for you.
Jewels, isn't it? There's a lot of jewels he wins in the.
That's my bad. That's my bad. Just say my bad. Just say my bad.
Only 4 games in. I'll wait for the 10th game and then I'll do my real apology.
What have you thought? Because obviously you said that you're not convinced and stuff. 3 goals, 4 games, Premier League, Arsenal.
Yeah, look. I did say, I was skeptical. I think that's the right word to use. I do think that he, in terms of the way Arsenal play, he is a bit more of a passenger, but that is what potentially Arsenal might need. I think against certain teams, he works. I do think if Havertz was fit, and as mad as it sounds, he will start against the bigger clubs. Havertz, because I think the way Arteta play, it'll happen, Samson. You can write me an apology note as well, brother. It's all blessed. This is what Arteta does. I think Gyokeres works where against. I generally think with Eze, I'll start again. I'll be honest with you. Eze will make. I said last week. I think Eze makes a difference. You've got the thing is with Gyokeres is I think Arsenal, as you 2 point, Arsenal have had a striker since Aubameyang. Mm-hmm. Right, they don't have to play with a striker, full stop. So I think it's going to get a bit of time for him to settle in. So I always did say that. I still not completely sold on him. However, 3 goals, 4 games, you can't argue, right? Fair enough against Leeds and this one against Forest.
There is context, though, isn't it?
There is context. There is context. You
know why that's nasty? Because if he played 4 games and had no goals, or if he played against Leeds and he didn't score, people will be like, oh my God, how can you not score against Leeds? Oh, you score against Leeds? Oh, it's Leeds. What?
Yeah, look, and I think that's what he's there for, though. That's what he's been bought for. Against those teams, to score the goal. That's why I said Havertz will start the games against City, the ones against Liverpool. If Havertz will start
I think it depends on his form. I think he needs
look at the setup. Because I thought Gyokeres was wasted against Liverpool. He didn't get any sort of service. Right,
because who was on the left though? Look at the difference though.
It does make a difference.
Look at the goal. Martinelli was on that left.
It was a nice one where he hit the post as well. We didn't talk about that when.
So he could have got 4 and 4.
He could have, but he hasn't, hasn't he? He's got 3 and 4. Right? Look. I've not. You know what? Fair play to he's 3 and 4. You can't argue 60 mil. 60 and you know what? He's the only striker Arsenal at the moment because of the injuries. So, a lot of pressure on him, a lot of eyes on him as well. I do like the arrogance about. He's got this arrogance about him saying, "I'm going to prove you all lot wrong." So yeah, I'm sure he will. But at the moment, he's starting to settle in a bit more, isn't he?
Look, 2 things can be true, by the way. There is an agenda on Glock Lesnar, but the jury is still out on him, for me personally. When I watch 3 and 4, but there's context. Leeds, he was thinking out before he got the goals. I think all-round performance, we're not going to expect him to have a blinding performance.
I was just about to say.
We're not going to expect him to do that. However, I'm not looking at a Nottingham Forest that just got a manager a couple of days ago. Like no one's expecting them to turn up. You know what I mean? And the Championship leads. I'm looking at him against the likes of the Liverpools, the Man Uniteds, and I've seen nothing in those games. You know what I mean?
Nottingham Forest, they're just some
they just got a new manager. Don't do that, Knobs.
No, but there's always the new. Listen, there's always the new manager bounce. This is Nottingham Forest that you went there. You two were battling it out to like the final game of the season.
We beat them.
Yeah, not exactly. And you beat this team.
Yes.
And there were tears. Everybody was brought out to the pitch. Remember?
But are you gonna tell me? Are you gonna tell me it's the same team that played you guys yesterday?
You did this, didn't it? You was doing this in the change rooms.
Remember?
Wait. Yes. But they were like third for like the whole season. Forest were like third for the whole season.
But last season, I'm just saying, don't talk them down now because you were going in there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You're worried.
You know where the locks came off in the summer.
Absolutely. Under Nuno Espirito Santo.
So nervous that Sunday.
Under Nuno Espirito Santo, yes. Yeah. I'm not worried about them with Ange Postecoglu at all in the slightest. The guy lost 20 games last year. 20.
Don't worry, yeah. Samson's on record talking smack. Watch Forest smack you up this season, home and away.
Oh, come on.
Let's not give you work. Chris Wood, bang!
Yeah, no one's worried about no Chris Wood, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but interesting. But listen, man, that is it, man. It's been a great show. Samson, thank you, man. Usual to yourself. Don't be a stranger this season, man. Do you know what I mean? Because
we're back up there, so you know what I mean.
Oh,
I realize you guys.
I told you.
You guys didn't call. You only called me. I remember when you was calling me. Was every week. Every week. I didn't know when we'll buy a win. You know what I mean? Now the tide has changed. You guys don't know my number anymore. You know.
Nah, to be fair play, brother, man. With Chelsea, obviously it's 2 points drop. Very disappointing for you guys. I've been speaking to the Chelsea boys. Yeah, they're not happy. But listen, it's early days, and yeah, this Maresca, he's an interesting guy, man. Because I think you did very well. Because them last couple of games of the season, I thought, yeah, they're not making this. Honestly, I looked at it away.
Clapped up Newcastle, clapped up Forest. Yeah, man, done their team.
So you done your thing. But yeah, thank you, Ed. Thank you, Naeem. Thank you very much today. Naeem, just get on that profile and bring it down to 5'10". Just to stop. Yeah. What Ed's done there is like, honestly, the man them roll code. You don't want to chat about confirming man's height. Like trying to argue, bro. That is wild stuff, guys. Don't forget to say anytime on the Offside Chat Instagram.
Forgive me, Naeem. I'm sorry, bro.
Just put that snake
name
in it to like the man. But honestly, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much, man, guys, man. Thank you for tuning in.
Thanks,
Peace up.